if you're doing it, China. Oh, this is not good. I'm not supposed to be hearing any extra sound at all. Indeed. Let me see whether I'm getting some audio here now. Otherwise, I think I'm getting some ugly audio. So hang in there. Give me a minute. Let me see. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these things have their own mind. You will come one day and then it will sound good. The other day you come. And there you go. It's getting better, I guess. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you have this audio and then there's an update in the system, automatically it kicks off. Okay, so hang in there. We're still trying to know which one of these things. All right, so it looks like it's getting better. I will continue to test it, but yeah. So my intention tonight was to find out why the Liberian delegation, in Washington, why the meeting opposition politician. Um, it's like walking on the opposite lane, and then you're trying to get to somewhere, but you're going the wrong way. It's like you finding yourself gradually going, say you left Monrovia to go to Kakata, and then you branch up to go to Bummy. Um, because Bummy will take you to Kakata, but it's a longer way to get to Kakata when you could just go by red light and then um go through Harrisburg, eventually find yourself there. You know, you, but the current administration here in the United States is the Democratic, you know, the Democratic Party. Why is it's like the Liberian delegation meeting folks like Lindsey Graham? They're meeting somebody like Ted Cruz. Um, so I'm wondering who gave them those kinds of ideas. It shouldn't you be meeting Joe Biden? Why are you meeting the opposition politician? What are they going to do for you? The way the United States works, you you look for the administration in power. I know President Weir, friendly with the former U.S. ambassador, the Republican appointed ambassador Christine Enders. Is her name, I think. Um, I know the U.S. I mean, Liberia has the president in particular has some closer friendly ties with her, just like Madame Salif used to have ties with the now U.S. ambassador to the UN, Greenfield. Okay, but my concern is I think the administration should be uh, sort of looking for ways to get into the head of the Biden administration that has so much resources. Don't forget, the Biden administration just um, passed $1 trillion bill. And then in addition to that, there was the COVID or stimulus bill that came out, and that money is still around for international cooperation. So my question is, why are you meeting opposition politician? Whose foreign policy idea is that? Whose suggestion was that? That let us see if we can. I mean, Bakari Seller, that you probably have taken as your lobbyist. I don't know to what extent he has the depth, because sometimes it's about tenure, how long you've been lobbying for a foreign government. Bakari Seller may be pulling some good stuff, but it should be the Biden administration. But today I saw Ted Cruz, I saw Lindsey Graham, and then I saw another Republican person. So what is going on? What's going on? I try reaching out to especially the Minister of Information, because he's my colleague. We went to college together, which most of them there. Um, but I wanted to see Ledger Hudrani if I could get in contact with him and just have a tete-a-tete with him as to whose idea it was to meet um, these opposition politicians. You want to be able to meet the current administration, the Biden administration. Nonetheless, don't get me wrong, it's a good move. As I was saying, this was a good move. It was about time the we administration start venting out, especially establishing ties with the U.S. Going around China, facing around other government. If you don't have footprint in Washington as a government, you perish. In my opinion, and then to concur my opinion, Charles Taylor, who was so anti to the U.S., came out and said one of his greatest regrets was for not establishing close ties with the U.S. So I think, and as much as we want to be able to establish ties with the United States, you don't want a false start. It seems as though maybe the U.S. is trying to Liberia is trying to get into the head of the administration via the opposition. And I don't know whether that's a good strategy. If I were the foreign minister, I would have flagged that down and say, well, we can do both. You can walk and chew at the same time. But I don't think the Biden administration is completely removed from not establishing cordial ties with the we administration. And what I was trying to say when my audio was acting funny was the fact that um, you know Liberia sits at a very very strategic geopolitical position around the Gulf of Guinea. Um, Let me share this again. It looks like first one. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, Liberia sits at a very strategic geopolitical position to to the advantage of United States foreign policy, especially with regards to U.S. prosecution of terrorism against ISIS, which was the former Al Qaeda. Those of us who have done security studies, um, do understand the fact that the United States has shifted towards the Gulf of Guinea, Gulf of Aden. So that region, that geopolitical location, is where the United States is prosecuting most of its foreign policy with regards to Al Qaeda. U.S. has a presence in Mali, and they have a very large presence in Somalia. They have, in fact, reestablished the corridor between the Gulf of Aden and the Horn of Africa, which encompasses Ethiopia, Chad, Djibouti, Somalia, and to some extent um, other areas there within the region, i.e., Mali, and all of that sub-Saharan, axis. Okay, so Liberia sits at a very strategic, vital link between the Gulf of Aden and, of course, that corridor, which the Gulf of Guinea and the Gulf of Aden. So Liberia is already part of AFRICOM. AFRICOM is the United States backed African troops. The United States is sponsoring in the region, but particularly the Gulf of Guinea. And one of the reasons why the United States jump upon piracy within that area, because this is a vital link, trade link. If you deny ships from sailing the Gulf of Guinea going towards the Gulf of Aden, as Somali pirates were prevalent on the sea, so the United States had to come in and they have deployed one of the largest sea fleet in that area. Okay, so again, Liberia sits at a very strategic and vital importance or important corridor. Say the Liberia, for instance, has troops in Mali. Um, while it may not have the infrastructure to be able to even host more American troops, Liberia still serves as in terms of communication. So the other day we heard the U.S. talking about its assistance to electricity in Liberia. Another one will be communication, VA, post and telecom, VA, telecommunication. Okay, that's another one. Now we're talking about fiber optics. Now these are all investment. Now you probably would want to find out how much the U.S. Is actually, you know, lifting that sector, the communication sector of Liberia up, because the U.S. may need that to communicate with other parts of the Gulf of Guinea. Okay, so Liberia is still of vital interest to the U.S. And I understand the strongman Alpha Conde in Guinea was trying to isolate the U.S. And if you heard about, maybe I'll look for that clip. There were some American forces that was spotted on the day of the coup. Well, others came out. Now, I had a show probably about a week or two ago, and I talked um, about the role of the United States in securing and that parts of Africa to ensure that we have allies there, not anti U.S. containment policies, and not any group of individuals or any group of presidents. And if you look, I think I would say Ivory Coast should be extremely careful. They want to make sure that they're not hostile to the U.S. Like Alpha Conde was slowly becoming, he was becoming extremely hostile. And today I heard, and they're talking about um, the government should spend what 2 months or 6 months. I'm like, you joking? I think those people would be in that area for like 2 years. As long as 2 years it would take at least to harness any strategic foreign policy of the United States. 2 years would be the at least a reasonable time. 6 months is nothing. So if Alpha Conde was becoming the bottleneck, and his removal could have been intentional. Okay, um, but don't don't take me for my word. I'm just looking from my own security lenses, knowing that there's no way a coup of that magnitude could occur without the nuance, full knowledge of some of this international governments, France, i.e., France, United States, and probably England. Okay, but Guinea was becoming strategically hostile to the idea of AFRICOM. AFRICOM is the AFRICOM is the U.S. military initiative. As you know, the U.S. began pulling out of the Panchir Valley. So if you're talking about the Panchir Valley, you're looking at places like the tribal belt in Afghanistan. I mean, in Pakistan, and that corridor also was who was feeding the Taliban, and so the U.S. actually don't have any vital importance in prosecuting a war against the Taliban. They went there primarily under the guise of removing the Taliban because their target was bin Laden. And that war was since over, I think, 10 years ago when bin Laden himself was captured and killed. Um, so the U.S. began drawing down because that region, now the focus is not to just stay in Afghanistan forever. They were not there to serve as military, um, the military power in Afghanistan. They were there because they wanted to prosecute a war against Al Qaeda. Okay, so they have left. Now the Al Qaeda itself has metamorphized or transformed into ISIS. These are all subunits of Al Qaeda, and then you have in that region also you have the presence of Casamov. The Casamov guerrilla, they are in Senegal, And then you have ISIS also in Mali. Remember when ISIS stormed some foreign installation in Mali, and we have African troops there as well. Liberia is there. To some extent, the U.S. is also very concerned about what's going on with Boko Haram in Nigeria. These are all trade links on the Gulf of Guinea. Now, the Gulf of Guinea, don't forget, also has one of the largest oil deposits. So when pirates were obstructing those vital trade um, transactions, it kind of uh, preoccupied the United States to say, well, hey, these guys are obstructionists, so we're gonna go there and establish presence there. So they began, setting up bases within Somalia itself. And don't forget, Somalia, and Somalia is being fed off of Djibouti. So the U.S. Marines are deployed in Djibouti. They have a large presence there as well. They also Chad. I remember the guy Eastern Habre. But the United States has presence. Those are feeding those are feeding bases for African. So when people were wondering why would they pull out of Afghanistan, well, Afghanistan is like a deadbeat. It's like when the U.S. was in Liberia, when we were part of their geopolitical strategy. They used some of our real estate for the installation, like the VOA and so on and so forth. But they do have some of these things now. They've transferred some of these installation to other parts that would better reflect um, their strategic importance. Okay, strategic importance meaning why are you going to establish a communication link when you're trying to when you're looking at you know having a nose in what is going on in the Middle East, especially Iran or Iran. Okay, so the U.S. don't see any reason to keep some of these installations, but with regards to the Gulf of Guinea, which is strategically very important. So I'm saying all of this to say that Liberia is still a very very vital partner to the U.S. in terms of its foreign policy. So if I were the foreign minister, I wouldn't be looking at going through opposition. If I will go through them, I will go with them, not not as the means to get to the mainstream government of the day. Biden, remember now, these are two um, opposition parties. One is not in power, in authority. Why are you vesting interest in the one that is not in authority as opposed to if I'd seen this guy with one of those stalwarts of the Democratic Party, then I would begin to say there's hope. And this is why I was concerned. I was trying to reach out to see if I could get. Hang on. So I wanted to, talk to Ledger Hood and I will try to reach him tomorrow because I want to have a clue. I don't want to. I don't. Hang on. I don't want to. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Uh, Give me a minute. So, so as I was saying, I don't want to circumguess the situation. Maybe they do have some intelligence as to why they would choose to go through Lindsey Graham as opposed to real. Give me a minute. Just a minute here. Not sure what is the job. All right, so let me entertain you with music and find out where the sound is coming from. Okay.
Children got together, they put their differences aside, they went along to mama's door. Alright. The children said, Mama, today, yesterday, the day on which you were born, the day you became a nation, the day you became among other nations. So we've come to say, oh, happy birthday to you, Mama Liberia.
Hey. It's the time of jubilation. Whoa. Let us raise the flag up higher. LIB once again. Today is the day of testimony. And celebrate where you are. Yeah, we have a testimony today. Forget about your problems and let's celebrate. It's our day today.
As the tree applaud and the wind whisper your arrival to a new light. Lift your hand for the dawn. I see when the night takes you a
the first time I saw your face, I knew I was in love. Baby, your smile takes my breath away. And they can say what I want, girl, I don't mind. As long as you are by my side. Baby, you smile like paradise. Baby, girl, come be my love for life. How many times do you want me to say I love you? Cause then I tell the world I do. Even you want me, girl, I do. Baby,
All right, I'm back. I'm back. I have to set this up. Give me a minute here again. Let me give you more music to.
Children got together, they put their differences aside, they went along to mama's door. Alright. Your children said, Mama, today, yesterday, the day on which you were born, the day you became a nation, the day you became among other nations. So we've come to say, oh, happy birthday to you, Mama Liberia.
It's the time of jubilation. Let us raise the flag higher. LIB once again. Today is the day of testimony. And celebrate where you are. Yeah, we have a testimony today. Forget about your problems and let's celebrate. It's our day today.
As the tree applaud and the wind whisper your arrival to a new life. Lift your hand for the dawn. I see when the night change to a daylight. Happy birthday to Liberia. Happy birthday to the nation. God is feeling the second celebrate a new sensation. Who's the next? You the best. Celebrate ourselves. Question out the feedback. Cause I got on my Everest. Celebrate. Hands up. Happy Independence Day. Celebrate. Hands up. Happy Independence Day. Mama Liberia.
From the first time I saw your face, I knew I was in love. Baby, your smile takes my breath away. And they can say what I want, girl, I don't mind. As long as you are by my side. Baby, you smile like paradise. Baby, girl, come be my love life. How many times do you want me to say I love you? Cause when I tell the world I do, even if you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, come be my love life. Anyway, you really got mine. How many times do you want me to say I love you? Cause when I tell the world I do, even if you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, come be my love for life. How many times do you want me to say I love you? Cause when I tell the world I do, even if you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, come be my love for life. I need no painkiller, cause you took my pain away. You don't need umbrella, I will take the rain away. Inikuma, yega amba ilikuma. Anyway, you really got mine. How many times do you want me to say I love you? Cause when I tell the world I do, even if you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, gon' be my love for life. How many times do you want me to say I love you? Cause when I tell the world I do, even if you want me, girl, I do. Baby, girl, gon' be my love for life.